Hey everybody! Welcome to the Turtle and the Bear podcast. I'm Turtle.
And I'm Bear, and today we're talking about PTSD. It's a bit of a sensitive topic. It stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental disorder that develops from experiencing a traumatic event such as sexual assault, domestic violence, child abuse, warfare, and its associated traumas, natural disasters, traffic collisions, and other threats on a person's life or well-being. Symptoms can be grouped into four main categories. Re-experiencing, so like you have flashbacks, which is so much fun. Avoidance, so you avoid something that you absolutely know is going to cause you problems.
I have flashbacks sometimes, but then sometimes I have dreams.
Yeah, flashbacks can happen when you're sleeping too. It sucks. Alterations in mood and cognition, so like if you're dealing with like a bad PTSD episode, your mood will significantly change. And changes in arousal and reactivity. So it can definitely affect your sex life. Sorry, we are going to be talking. This is going to be non-PG friendly, giving you the heads up. I should have said it at the beginning. But it's not a PG friendly not a PG friendly podcast episode.
Definitely
today.
Like 16, 17 plus.
It's for mature audiences, I would say. So we both definitely have PTSD. Very different experiences though, both from our childhood.
And some into our
my PTSD.
Adults.
Yeah, your PTSD is definitely into your adults. Mine not so much. Mine just my brain just snapped when I was an adult.
Yeah, I don't really feel like going into too much detail with mine right now.
No, my PTSD definitely got really, really bad in 2019.
Yeah.
And my brain just it snapped and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, it was I had something happen when I was a kid. And again, most people who listen to it know exactly what I'm talking about. But I didn't come out about it. I didn't say anything about it, and keeping that in made it worse. So that's why we always say like talking to somebody, even if it's like always go to somebody for no matter what, like someone who will listen, obviously, but like ask for help, because if not, your brain will do exactly what mine did and just break.
Your brain basically went, I'm done.
Yeah, I can't do this anymore.
I can't just keep going on and just
But PTSD definitely manifests itself in different ways. So like when I was like after my brain snapped, I struggled with sleep. I struggled with going outside, out in public, because I was so scared.
Oh dear.
I remember chicken. No, mine chicken. Yours is ducky.
Yes.
Yeah. So chicken. I remember chicken would tell me that he wouldn't sleep at night because I would get such bad nightmares from my PTSD that I would stop breathing. Oh. And he would be so scared he would wake me up, so he wouldn't sleep. Actually, he only recently just told me that, and it broke my heart because I'm like, I'm so sorry.
That's bad. Like your body is just stopping breathing. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, I was being in a nightmare. And so it was so bad, and I went to a psychiatrist. I was given medication. I cried when I was given medication because I'm like, I don't want medication. But sometimes you need it, and that's okay. I've come to learn medication's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I was so scared at that point that I'm like, it's not real. I don't want this to be real. And so being put on medication for my PTSD and my anxiety and all that other stuff, it made it very real. And so that caused me, I came out of the doctor's office and just like bawled into my mom's arms. And yeah, it was a struggle. But like for you, you have PTSD problems with people raising their voice.
Yes.
Like, that definitely is one of your main triggers.
Raising their voices directed at me.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like you can't just watch someone yell.
I don't like being around that, but my main issue is, like, I used to hate yelling, like,
in general. Yeah.
But now I'm a lot better, and I really don't like it when it's directed at me, because it sounds like you're mad at me.
And that just sends you into
I shut down.
Yeah, I was going to say your PTSD takes over and it sends you into a state of...
No, and then my mind goes...
protection, I guess.
Yeah, no, my mind goes, it's your fault. You need to apologize.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
Or my brain also goes, you deserve to be yelled at. Logically, I know.
Logically, I don't think anybody deserves to be yelled at.
No.
I really don't. I've yelled at people myself.
Yes.
But I don't think anybody truly deserves to be yelled
at.
I also do firmly believe everybody has some form of PTSD.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's a little insight to how dark my mind gets sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not... Yeah. I'm a lot better, but, like, with yelling, it's not great.
Yeah, you've gotten better over the last, like, couple years that we've been regained on our friendship.
Yeah.
I noticed you've gotten better. But yeah, it's PTSD is definitely in everybody, because that's how you you end up with these trust issues, I guess, or like you end up with trust issues because you had something happen. That's a form of PTSD. You don't, like, for instance, chicken doesn't like tomatoes because he ate so many of them when he was a kid.
My dad went through the same thing, but with strawberries.
Yeah. But,
so he'll have, like, strawberry jam, but he can't have strawberries.
Yeah. Yeah, like chicken will eat, like, pizza or spaghetti or something like that. Strawberry based. Tomato based.
Beautiful.
But he will not eat raw tomatoes. He doesn't like them on his burgers.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, like, it makes sense. I think I just hit my mic. I'm so sorry. But PTSD is kind of like, it's on a scale, a spectrum, I would say, kind of like autism.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
well, any mental health, even ADHD.
Basically, every mental health is a spectrum, because, like, you can have very severe, you can have very mild versions of it. And, like, with ADHD, they have very similar symptoms. So, like, sleep problems.
To autism or PTSD? ADHD?
Yes, to all three. Let me see. I did look it up. So, ADHD and PTSD both present with overlapping symptoms, like difficulty concentrating, impulsivity problems, emotional dysregulation, and sleep problems. And so it's kind of difficult to differentiate between the two, like, oh, am I doing this because of ADHD or am I doing this because PTSD problems? You will eventually learn throughout, like, doing your own self-discovery and figuring out, hey, this is what I'm doing because PTSD, or I'm doing this because of ADHD. But it's a lot of mental health disorders overlap.
Yeah.
For sure. But I find my ADHD kind of helps me with my PTSD, because with ADHD, my version of ADHD is out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody has that with ADHD. I think
it's a lot of ADHD people.
I think it's a lot, but I personally,
I know I do it.
Because, like, I forget I have family members, dude.
It's not, okay, it's not that we forget they exist.
We don't remember about them until we're like, oh, hey, why don't we talk more often?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
So I do the same thing with my PTSD. And so some days it just comes back and flashes, and then I'm down and out for a whole week.
that sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, and it's like I struggle to get out of bed. And that sucks even more because I have a dog.
Oh yeah, that's
Actually, I have 2 dogs that I take care of, and a chinchilla. He's pretty easygoing though. He doesn't.
He just exists
He
within
loves.
his
He's
boundaries.
existing in his cage until I come and kidnap him out of his cage. I need to clean it today, actually.
Oh, fun.
Maybe tomorrow. No, tomorrow I have a club. Oh, squirrel. Sorry. Yeah. PTSD sucks. I've been after my brain snapped in 2019. My little brother and my mom were talking about an old phone that we used to have. It was one of the slider phones.
Oh yeah.
They were talking about it, not even to me.
Just around you.
I heard the conversation, and that sent me.
Oh my.
And yeah, it was like, why, like we lived. What happened to me? I could have told so many people. Because like we lived not far from a fire station
and a church.
I think
like 3 churches.
And like I had school, and I'm just like, I eventually learned from therapy that I did the right decision because it could have gotten very, very bad.
Yeah.
And eventually justice was served. Not the right amount of justice. Just that right amount of justice never exists. But yeah,
more justice than usually.
More justice than the average person. Yeah. But I was recently, my brain was just off, and I was trying to think of it why, and it's because PTSD has this lovely thing where it annually reminds you of the problem. So it was Voldemort's court date thing was coming up. And I didn't realize that until I was like thinking about it, what could possibly be wrong. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I gave everybody the heads up. I'm like, heads up, I'm not going to be in a proper mental health state. It's nothing you guys have done. It's just, this is going on.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing to do with your mental health in general, is openly communicate about it and be like, hey, laying the cards on the table, this is what's going on. You know, it's nothing you can do, really.
Yeah. And there's nothing they can do.
No, that's that's the lovely thing. I mean, there are things they can prevent themselves from doing that would set your PTSD off. Like I know some people are triggered by smells, like perfumes. I am too, actually. I'm triggered by a cologne. And one of the people in my apartment building wears said cologne.
Oh boy!
So I have to, if my mom comes out and she smells it in the hall, she'll be like, yeah, you have to hold your breath. Because like I will have to hold my breath in the hall.
Yeah.
Because the one time I didn't and I broke down.
Oh boy.
Lovely.
I know sometimes Ducky gets frustrated because when I have like PTSD responses or I'm frustrated because of something, he gets frustrated because he didn't even do that thing, and he's not doing it to be malicious.
No,
but
it's frustrating.
The things that, like, one thing, my mom, when we were driving together, she would have me answer her text messages, and these are text messages like sometimes they were pertinent to the situation, like oh, we're meeting someone, we need to know.
Yeah. And that's fine to answer.
But then some of them could have waited 10 minutes until she was done driving anymore. And it happens so frequently that I hate doing it. Because if you can't, like...
You can't wait the extra, like, 10 minutes?
Like, if it
was a, like, 3-hour car ride, okay, I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't wait 10 minutes till you're done driving?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm not trying to blame anybody with like my issues.
Oh, I fully do.
Okay, but that's
No, I blame people for your issues.
Yes, but not in that specific, like that specific thing, like the phone calls.
Yes.
And me being
that's different.
That is my...
There's definitely things from your childhood that I blame. your
Yes.
PTSD from.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying, like,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
blame
no.
my PTSD on anybody specific. I'm like, I do.
No. That specific
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pardon me.
Gold star.
Thank you. Basically, I'm trying to find my words, but they're not coming out very easily.
You don't want to give away too much because it's like I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah, but like, so I'm not blaming my mom in that specific sense for my issues. I'm just saying, hey, like,
it's the reason you don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like. I will do it if it's because our car thing, for some reason, every time Ducky's phone doesn't update, it messes with the like the speech to text in the car. So one time we were texting this one dude, we tried, do you want to come over for sweet and sour meatballs?
Yeah.
And the car heard it as, do you want some sweaty meatballs? Or no, it said, do you want some sweaty balls?
Yes.
And we just and it it goes, do you want to send it? And we're like, no. And it went, done. And it sent it before we could even
I love that.
So that's why we tend to not do the speech to text in the car anymore.
So much. If you sent me that text, you'd be like, do you want some sweaty balls? I would have 100% said yes, absolutely. With the tongue out emoji, like, I want some num num. Yeah.
I know we did a bit of a squirrel moment, but that's kind of why.
Yeah.
But I did talk to Ducky about it because there was a day, there was just like some drama going on. I was texting on the phone and it was just getting a little heated. And then afterwards we talked about it and I'm like, I really don't like it. Like if the text can wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, basically everywhere in this city you can get that's important is like 20 minutes. Unless it's rush hour.
Yeah.
So like if you can't wait 20 minutes to respond to a text, there's problems.
Yeah. And I said, unless it's like, oh, we're meeting someone.
Well, yeah, if it's pertinent to said thing.
Come by at blood time.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that.
And that is something I'm trying to work on not being so aggressive towards because he's not doing it in like
a malicious way.
He's not doing it, and I don't think my mom was either.
Yeah.
It was just the frequency of how it happened that my brain kind of went, no.
Thanks. Yeah.
I know I've rambled a little bit.
It's like Chicken. I used to bug him on the toilet a lot.
Oh yeah.
I used to sit in the bathroom with him and have a conversation. And then he finally opened up about it and he's like, I don't like this because something his stepmom used to do is she would watch him go to the bathroom to make sure he was going to the bathroom before bed.
At what age?
Over the age of 10. And I'm like, okay, I totally understand why you are like that.
Yeah.
So I don't bug him anymore. But, like, I don't like his stepmother. I want to beat her.
That's fine. I know we kind of did a detour from what you were talking about, but
I don't even remember what I was talking about.
You were talking about Voldemort and the cologne and
like I know it's really difficult. Like Chicken has openly expressed how it is difficult for like being in a relationship with someone who has PTSD to the severity that I do, because like he's said that he feels useless. Like he feels like he can't do anything to help me, and unfortunately there isn't anything you can do to help me other than give me time to heal, because PTSD doesn't go away.
No,
it just doesn't stay
it goes
as severe.
To sleep.
Yeah, it doesn't stay as severe.
Yes. It has naps.
Yeah.
And then it wakes up from those naps.
Yeah, and then it has a tantrum and then goes back to sleep. And he's openly expressed like he feels useless and he feels like there's more he should be doing and that he can't do anything and he feels stuck. And I'm very sad about that. And it hurts me knowing that I'm hurting him. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. But, yeah. What are we at for recording? 20 minutes.
We can go a little bit longer.
Yeah. Have you noticed your ADHD and your PTSD like clashing or coinciding?
I don't really notice
Hmm.
because I have more inattentive ADHD, so
Yeah.
it's harder for me to notice sometimes.
I'm very
Um,
hyper aware of myself and my brain.
Yeah. Well, compared to you,
Yeah.
my ADHD and autism diagnoses are very new.
Yes.
Like ADHD, I think last year.
2 years ago was
Or 2
ADHD.
years.
Last year was autism.
Yeah. I think.
Roughly.
Yes.
Because it was like 6 months after we started hanging out again that you got diagnosed affirmative with
With
ADHD.
Oh yeah, then.
And then it was like another 6 months after that, maybe a year.
Yeah,
that you're
so
like, okay, maybe I have autism too.
That was just last year though.
Yeah.
So that was last year. It was 2024. So that was last April.
Sure. My brain doesn't do good with time. That's ADHD.
Yeah, so last April I got diagnosed with ADHD, and then just in I think November is when I got confirmed with being on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
So compared to you, who you've had yours for at least 3 to 4 years.
For what? ADHD?
Yeah, not PTSD.
Oh, PTSD was I was diagnosed in 2019.
Yes, and I think
so 6 years.
Yes, and then ADHD. When did you get yours?
Mom says I was diagnosed when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember it though, so.
Okay. But you've known about it.
I've known about it for a long time. Yeah.
You're borderline.
BPD. I was diagnosed. Oh God.
That was
a year ago.
Yeah, so that was just about the same thing, but you've had a bit more time with your other things.
Yeah.
Like your ADHD and your PTSD to notice a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had confirmation of it for a year and a bit now.
Yeah.
And I'm
getting those diagnoses it's kind of a light bulb moment actually. It's like, oh, this is why I do this.
Especially for like me with my autism and
your ADHD.
Yeah, my ADHD. Woo. Because I'm just like looking back into my childhood and I think, oh, that makes so much sense now.
Like you would cry when you were overwhelmed. That was your autism.
Yep.
I guarantee you.
Yep. And people would get mad at me for it.
Yes.
Because I was crying.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a lot of friends.
Pretty sure that's why you don't like crying now.
I don't like crying in front of people because
of that. I guarantee you.
Yeah. People would get mad at me, and I'm not going to specify which ones because I don't feel like starting crap.
I'm sure they know who. I'm sure if your family listening, you know exactly who. But yeah, I guarantee.
Again, I'm going to say family members. I'm not trying to start crap. I'm just stating things and how I feel. I'm saying that because I want them to know that I'm not trying to start crap.
No, exactly. And like that's the thing is you're not strapped. English. I haven't even had caffeine today.
Wow. I mean, neither have I, but
yeah. But you're not trying to start crap. You're just stating what has happened in your past.
Yeah. I'm not even going into your brain detail.
That's caused your brain to be how it is today.
Yeah. Like I don't think I'll ever go into a lot of detail on here.
I might eventually go into more detail about my childhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably should have done it this episode because it's about PTSD.
Yeah. Maybe
we could do one about SA.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what was I saying? I was gonna say something.
ADHD.
This is what an actual conversation between us looks like, by the way. Except it's
a little more squirrely, actually.
It is. We try and rein it in so it makes more sense for those who are not ADHD.
I think a lot of our listeners are, though.
I think, I want to say...
At least 50%.
At least 50%, but I know there's a lot who aren't.
Yeah.
So we do try to rein it in for you guys.
Make it a little bit more digestible.
Because when we listen to... fun fact, when an ADHD person listens to a conversation between two ADHD people, they think that there's nothing wrong.
It's normal.
It's normal. But then when a person without ADHD,
A
neurotypical, they're like, you talked about like 40
5,000 things.
You talked about 40 different things within the span of 10 minutes. Yes.
That's not normal.
But yeah, I think we could maybe do like
Yeah, down the line a little bit maybe.
I'm so sorry. My brain is
We definitely need to come up with more topics to talk about. Because I look back at the ones I wrote down, and I'm like, I don't like any of these anymore.
I know, right?
Oh, ADHD.
Yeah, but if you peoples listening, if you have any suggestions that you or wants that you would like us to talk about, that you want to hear from our perspectives, just message us on Instagram or Facebook, or
we have Twitter, or X, or whatever the heck it's called now.
Yeah.
We do have a Snapchat. All of our links are posted on Facebook.
Do we have an email that's listed?
I don't know if the email's listed, but we do have an email.
We do have an email. But yeah, Instagram's probably the best place. Or
Instagram or Facebook are our best places to reach us.
Yeah.
Or you can comment on our YouTube or Spotify.
Yep.
But yeah, like, comment, share,
follow,
do
subscribe,
all the fun things of interacting.
Ring that notification bell.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Sorry.
And I just realized it's Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we need to post turtles!
But by the time you guys hear it, it's going to be Friday.
Yep.
Anyways, thanks for listening and see you next time.
Bye!